Good morning and welcome to Spectrum News at 10. I am Emedion James coming to you a lot from Uyo. Let's take a look at the major headlines that we have for you today. Vice President Shettima showcases Nigeria's $200 billion energy transition potential at UNGA 80. Governor Moino declares today public holiday to celebrate state 38th anniversary. Plus, Israeli tank advance into Gaza City as Trump to address UN General Assembly. We'll bring you details of these stories and more in just a moment. Good morning and thank you for joining us. First in the news this morning is that Vice President Kashim Shettima has pitched Nigeria's $200 billion energy transition opportunity to global investors. He said the country is strategically positioned as a natural hub for African continental free trade area's $3.4 trillion market. Speaking at a roundtable hosted by the Business Council for International Understanding in New York on the sidelines of the 80th United Nations General Assembly, Shettima said Nigeria's vast economic transformation under President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda was already attracting strong investors' commitment. The Vice President, who is representing President Tinubu, stressed that in this interconnected age, the wealth of any nation is neither achieved through miracles nor inheritance. Showcasing Nigeria's wealth, he noted that the country is West Africa's largest economic and Africa's largest consumer market, with 236 million people today, projected to reach 320 million by 2040. Away from that, the federal government has stated that its goal of attracting more funds and investment into the Nigerian oil and gas sector is at the center of its decision to devote more executive attention to ongoing reforms in the energy sector. The Special Advisor to the President on Energy, Olu Vahenjin, disclosed this in Abuja when she received the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Renaissance African Energy Company Limited, Tony Attar. Vahenjin's called for more investment in the oil and gas sectors followed federal government's bid to wrap up crude oil production and increase its oil revenue. The Special Advisor commended the company over 40% oil production increase within 150 days of its completion of the transaction in March 2025, when it successfully acquired the shares of Shell Petroleum Company Limited. We move now to the Red Chambers, where the Senate has shifted the resumption of its plenary from September 23rd to October 7, 2025. The development was contained in an internal memorandum signed by the Chief of Staff to the Senate President, Chinedu Akubueze. The notice indicated that the upper legislative chamber has extended its annual recess by another 2 weeks. To the Green Chambers now, where the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Abbas Tajuddin, has assured Nigerians of the speedy passage of the Constitutional Amendments Bill. He gave the assurance in Abuja at the National Public Hearing on the review of the 1999 Constitution. Abbas stated that the Green Chambers would do everything possible to successfully amend the 1999 Constitution after failed attempts by previous assemblies. The Speaker commended Nigerians for coming out to ensure that their voices were heard. According to him, the process would have a positive impact on all sectors of society. In a separate development, the lawmaker representing Kogi Central, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, has launched a strong legal offensive against the federal government, describing the criminal defamation charges filed against her as a brazen act of political persecution and an exhibition of double standards by the federal government. In a preliminary objection seeking the dismissal of the 6 counts filed against her by the Attorney General of the Federation, the Kogi senator contended that while the federal government was quick to file charges against her based on the complaint of the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, the same government ignored her own earlier petition against Akpabio. The charges filed under the Cybercrimes Prohibition Prevention Amendment Act 2024 was brought following petitions by Akpabio and ex-Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello over remarks she allegedly made during a public address and a television interview. Her arraignment on June 20 drew national attention, with many opposition figures alleging that the case was politically motivated. Let's move now to Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Umoino has declared today, Tuesday, September the 23rd, 2025, a work-free day across the state. In a notice signed by the State Commissioner for Information, Anyeka Numana, the declaration is in commemoration of the 38th anniversary of the creation of the state. According to the release, all government offices and public institutions are expected to observe the holiday. Governor further extended his warm wishes to citizens and residents of the state, urging them to enjoy a joyful and peaceful celebration. Meanwhile, Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Moino has emphasized the importance of sustained unity and collective efforts among citizens and residents in driving the progress and growth of the state. Speaking at a special interdenominational Thanksgiving service to mark the 38th anniversary of the state's creation, the governor urged the people to forgive one another and ensure unnecessary acrimony capable of truncating the peace and unity of the state. He underscored the value of every leader's contribution in the past, committing to continue collaborating with past leaders, showing respect for their services and honoring their legacies. The governor commended the great sense of unity, maturity, and understanding shown by the leadership of the various political parties in the state, and also appreciated past leaders and stakeholders for turning up for the event. Government House correspondent January reports that Governor North thanked the people for their steadfastness, support, and unwavering belief in the state to achieve greater impact, and reminded the people of the ongoing INEC voters registration exercise, urging them to get registered in readiness for the election when the time comes. We move now to Africa, where Egyptian authorities have announced the presidential pardon of prominent activist Alaa El Fattah. A statement from the president's office said that another 5 prisoners were also pardoned. The activist lawyer Khalid Ali told reporters that Abed Al-Fattah is expected to be released from Wadi Nadro prison just north of Cairo immediately. After the state's decision is published in the country's official gazette, which he expects is likely within the next 2 weeks. On a foreign scene, Israeli forces are continuing their ground offensive to fully occupy Gaza City, with reports that tanks have advanced into the city center from the north and south. This comes as Donald Trump will address the UN General Assembly today, the first time he attends the general debate since 2020. Reports say among the topics he will discuss is the decision by several countries to recognize Palestinian statehood in recent days. Recall that France announced a formal recognition of the State of Palestine yesterday, joining the UK, Australia, Canada, and Portugal. So on the foreign scene, at least 37 Palestinians have died in the Israeli attack across the enclave since dawn. Many thanks for staying tuned. This is Spectrum News at 10. On our business news, data released by the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) has revealed that Nigeria's gross domestic product (GDP) grew by 4.23% on a year-on-year basis in the second quarter of 2025. The latest figure shows an improvement from the 3.48% growth recorded in the same quarter of 2024, indicating continued recovery and resilience in the economy. According to the report, the agriculture sector grew by 2.82% in real terms during the period under review, an increase from 2.60% recorded in the second quarter of 2024. The industry sector also showed strong performance, growing by 7.45% compared to 3.74% in the corresponding period of the previous year. Meanwhile, the services sector recorded a real growth of 3.94%, slightly up from 3.83% posted in the second quarter of 2024. Still in business, the Nigeria Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, NITI, has endorsed the recent decision of the federal government to revoke 1,263 mineral licenses belonging to operators who defaulted in paying statutory fees or failed to meet other obligations. In a statement issued by its Director of Communication and Stakeholder Management, Obiagali Onora, NITI described the action of the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dr. Dele Alake, as bold, timely, and consistent with the agency's audit findings. According to the statement, the licenses revoked included 584 exploration licenses, 65 mining leases, 144 quarry licenses, and 470 small-scale mining leases. The NITI's support for the move is anchored on its recent industry report, which have consistently highlighted widespread defaults among mining title holders. On the health news, orthopedic surgeons have urged Nigerians to shun traditional bone setters and healers for the treatment of fractures, dislocation, and joint injuries, warning that such practices often worsen patients' conditions. The expert said the practice was contributing to the delay in seeking proper treatment, adding that the outcomes are devastating, ranging from poorly healed fractures and deformities to life-threatening complications that sometimes lead to amputation. They stress that prompt and proper medical care in certified hospitals remain the safest approach, insisting that Nigerians must prioritize evidence-based orthopedic treatment over unregulated practices to avoid preventable disabilities and death. Still in health, endocrinologists have debunked widespread myths surrounding the use of insulin in the management of diabetes, describing insulin injection as a life-saving treatment essential for controlling blood sugar levels in many patients. The expert dismissed the claims that insulin is only prescribed for patients who are on the brink of death. The diabetes specialist refuted the claims, warning that such misinformation not only misrepresents the role of insulin in diabetes management, but also contributes to fear, stigma, and treatment avoidance among patients who genuinely need it. The physician reiterated that insulin is not a sign of defeat or doom, but a reliable tool that helps millions of people with diabetes live healthier and longer lives. Let's move now to sports where France and Paris Saint-Germain forward Ousmane Dembele has been crowned the 2025 Ballon d'Or winner, sealing his place among the pantheon of football greats. The announcement at Theatre du Chantelas in Paris was met with a mixture of celebration and awe. Dembele, aged 28, briefed Barcelona and Spain teenage sensation Lamine Yamal to the prize and succeed Manchester City and Spain midfielder Rodrigue, who won the trophy in 2024. The Italian international victory at the glittering Ballon d'Or ceremony marks a remarkable comeback to the pinnacle of his position 4 years after he first claimed the prize. Still in sport, Britain and Hove Albion have congratulated their Nigerian international Chiamaka Nnadozie for finishing fourth in the Women's Goalkeeper of the Year category at the 2025 Ballon d'Or Award. Nnadozie was one of the 5 goalkeepers who made the final shortlist for the award, which was won by Hannah Hampton of England and Chelsea. In second place was Anne-Catherine Benter of Germany. Gotham and Catacol, who played for Spain and Barcelona, placed third, and in the 5th place was Netherlands and Arsenal first choice Daphne van Domcelle. We move now to entertainment where Nigerian singer Stanley Oma, popularly known as Omale, has left fans in panic after revealing that his depression has returned. In a social media rant, the soprano hinted that his latest depression was caused by his recording contract and music business dealers. Omale blamed his manager as well as his younger self for accepting some contract. His rant comes weeks after he parted ways with his manager, Muyiwa Awoniyi. And that's what we have for you at this time. Do ensure to follow us on social media, subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, spectrumtvlive.ng. You have been watching Spectrum News at 10. I am Emedion James. Enjoy the rest of your day and thank you for watching.